Here we are today in the undisputed, undefeated, greatest location in the country. We are in the Hard Rock Cafe Vault Room, and today we're with Robbie Regan, former bantamweight world champion, WO champion.
WBO.
We're in a. What do you think of this location, mate?
I couldn't pick a better one. It's absolutely fabulous and an honour to be here.
It's amazing, isn't it? What have we got? We've got Elvis's jacket over there. We've got a Llewhellin over there, and I'm going to steal his jacket. Never mind Elvis's. What else have we got? We've got the Beatles harpsichord for Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds. We've got Bob Dylan stuff over there. So today we're going to talk a little bit about your journey, how you got to the top, and all of the rest of it. We'll have a talk a bit about music as well.
Well, music is a passion of mine as much as boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you use music to motivate you? Because sometimes.
Absolutely, always train with music.
Yeah.
Always.
What sort of music do you like?
A wide variety.
Bit of Spice Girls. You like a bit of the Spice Girls?
I like the chili peppers.
Yeah. And I think we've got a chili pepper thing. We've got chili peppers here, haven't we? Chili peppers, and we got a guitar. There it is. Red Hot Chili Peppers guitar.
That's epic, CDC.
And that's the sort of music you can
bit of a rocker.
You can train to.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, we'll go through a little bit about your past. Yeah. You grew up. You were in Caerphilly.
Just outside Caerphilly, there's a place called Blackwood.
Blackwood, yes. And then what? How did you get into the whole boxing thing?
I was on holiday. It was a family holiday. My uncle was a professional boxing trainer who trained with Regan, who was my manager. And I think we was nearly 15 years of age. We talked about going to the boxing gym. And when we come back, we both went to the gym. I think my brother may have gone 3 times, but I was enough for him, and I just fell in love with the game.
Yeah. What about being hit did you like? Because that's what a lot of normal people think. They'll think it is brutal in there. I've been in a ring, obviously, you know, on a very low level, but it's tough.
Absolutely, you know, even when you hurt, you get hurt. The winners get hurt, but the champions usually are the ones who are doing the beating.
What was it attracted you to the boxing, though, just to be the best?
I was never, went to any sport really, and then I just went to that gym and I fell in love with boxing, and it just come natural to me. Yeah.
And basically you went on from, how did the path go? You everyone joined as an amateur.
Yeah.
How long were you an amateur for?
I was amateur from the age of nearly 15. I think I turned pro when I was 21, and as amateur I won a lot of Welsh titles. A gold medal in a multi-nation competition in Oslo.
Yeah.
I won a silver medal in Sweden. I was a member of the Olympic team. And I went to Commonwealth Games in 1986.
Yeah. And where did the sort of point come where they said, look, you're good enough to be like a professional now?
Well, the gym that I trained in was full of professionals. I was more professional style than amateur, if you like. And my dream was always to turn pro and just win as much as I could.
So with that then, your next goal, you become professional.
Yeah. And
then you just thought to yourself, right, I'm going to be the British champion now.
Yeah.
I'm going to whoop some ass.
Well, I actually won the Welsh title first, and once you win the Welsh title, obviously the next step up is British. And if you achieve that, then you're always looking to go higher and higher.
Which can be like a huge step, can't it? Because, I mean, Wales, we're a sort of humble nation with maybe 3.5 million people.
Yeah.
And then when you stick England in the mix and a bit of Scotland, and it's like, all of a sudden it's 65 million people, you know? So,
yeah, it's a massive step up. But then again, Europe is such a huge step up from British champion to just even the European level.
Yeah. Did you ever have any doubts? What's your thought process? You're sort of going into the ring.
No, my dream, and I always wanted to be world champion, and there was nothing or no one going to stop me doing that.
So that was it. So one of your sort of tips on succeeding would be just like total focus.
Absolutely, dedication, focus, and live your dream.
Yeah, fantastic. So you got to the British champion. Then you went on to the European flyweight champion.
Yeah.
And then you went on to you just kept on going. You went on to the
IBF
interim champion.
That's correct, yeah.
What was this, and how did you sort of? What's the difference? Because a lot of people don't know the difference between flyweight and bantamweight.
Well, the actual weight difference is flyweight's at 8 stone and bantamweight's 8 stone 6.
Yeah.
It don't sound a lot, but for small guys, that's a big step up.
So yeah, so you just basically went up.
There's an actual weight in between. There's super flyweight in between that, but I jumped up 2 weights.
Yeah. What other things? What would you say to sort of people that are just sort of starting out in the boxing at the moment, that want to be like the world champion?
Well, obviously they just got to stay dedicated and focused, and they got to be single-minded to what they want to achieve.
Yeah. And then obviously when you hit the sort of the world champion level, you're at the top of the game. I think, was it Manny Pacquiao was one of the main?
Manny Pacquiao was my #1 contender, and Manny went up so many weights, and won titles at so many different weights.
He done about
the only one he actually didn't fight for was the bantamweight title. When he was my #1 contender, he jumped straight up to super bantam and missed me or avoided me.
Well, just as well he did, mate. Otherwise he would have had some of that, wouldn't he?
Well, he was a southpaw, and he was always knowing for my good left hook.
Yeah.
So.
But then the other thing that happened as well, you got to the top of the tree, and then disaster basically.
Yeah.
Glandular fever.
Glandular fever for over a year, and it absolutely destroyed me. Well, it actually finished. I had the same virus as Jonah Lumo, and you know how big and strong he was. It finished his career, and it will basically finish mine.
So glandular fever, for those of the people that don't know, what exactly happened?
The virus that we had was Epstein-Barr, and you don't feel ill in yourself until you try to do something, and then you just fatigued and there's no energy,
Yeah.
I was sparring and I could see the punches coming, and because of the illness, I just couldn't get out the way of them.
Yeah. But the other thing is as well, is what did you do when you had this glandular fever? How do you overcome that sort of thing?
There's not a cure for it. They actually just tell you got to have a complete rest, complete break for however long it takes. Hot weather, they sort of advise you to go on an holiday with the hot weather, and there's nothing you will actually take to cure it.
Yeah. So then, when that happened, what was your sort of path then after that? You had the glandular fever.
Well, I kept having blood tests, and then, blood test after blood test after months and months. It was sort of, by the blood test, it was sort of getting better. And then the doctor gave me the go-ahead. He said I was cured, and I really didn't feel that I was cured, because it don't only affect you physically, it affects you mentally.
And that stays with you forever,
for a long, long time.
So there's a lot of people out there now that are basically, things are going really nice for them, then something hits them, whether it's glandular fever, whether it's cancer, whether it's AIDS, whether it's whatever.
Yeah, we are not indestructible, and we, surprised how fragile we are, really.
Yeah. But then how do you process that in your mind? How do you get over it? Did you ever get over it, do you think, mentally?
Yeah, it took me a long, long time, because because obviously when I quit boxing and I wasn't training like I was, so I didn't have to go through a process of feeling ill by the training that would do that to you. Because without training when I finished boxing, it took me for months and months and months, and then I just think it's a mental thing then that you start to feel better.
Yeah. So you basically went from being super fit to not very fit.
Yeah.
How much were you training? How much did you train to become the world champion?
It was twice a day for 7 days a week.
7 days a week. So there's no rest day.
No.
I'm a bit of a lightweight then, 'cause I have a rest day normally, even if I'm training for something.
But my day off would be a Saturday, if you like, without going to the gym. But because I wasn't going to the gym, I do an extra big run. I do a 19, 20-mile run.
Yeah. What other things were you doing? So you're obviously doing the running, obviously you punch bag, you do the sparring.
All the general boxing stuff, you know, and it's, you know, you have a conditioning coach at the end of all the boxing training you do. You spend an hour with him, putting through your paces. It's a very tough regime.
With the coaches and things like that, how important is it to be around the right people?
Oh, it's very important. You need people to help you, motivate you, and, you know, to keep you focused.
Did you have any sort of who were your inspirations when you were sort of growing up?
Yeah, a lot of fighters who inspired me, but the greatest, without a doubt, is Muhammad Ali.
Everybody, but he did lose a lot. I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, you can't even say that, but he didn't lose a lot, but was it 5 fights or something he lost?
No,
So Tyson versus Ali, what's your opinion?
no, it's not a contest.
Is it not?
Ali destroyed him.
Yeah?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Is there anyone else? Obviously, he was a great man, you know, both inside and outside the ring.
Yeah.
What other sort of boxers inspired you?
You know, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard.
I love Marvin Hagler.
Julio Cesar Chavez.
He was, amazing.
Yeah, great.
But Hagler was quite brutal, wasn't he? And he had this totally different style to sort of Ray Leonard, and he would just.
Yeah. He's a fighter. He's a warrior.
What was your sort of style? Were you more like a Hagler or a Leonard? How did you?
It depends who I was fighting, but I could box 3, 4 ways. You know, I could go push him back, and you know, and put the pressure on him, or I could go on a back foot and use the ring and dance like Ali.
Yeah, and that's of course. I mean, I guess the main person as well. Even though he does like to tell everyone about it, it's Mayweather, isn't it? You know, I mean,
you know,
he's just. What can you say about that record?
Well, it's an unbelievable record, you know. But he's exceptional at what he does, and the amount of money, he's the richest fighter in history. Says it all.
Yeah, it's phenomenal success.
Yeah.
And other people, obviously, we got. I was reading a bit about you, and is it Lee Selby became the champion? And then as I was reading about you on the sort of googly thing, it said Selby has joined the ranks of Enzo Macronelli, Joe Calzaghe, and Robbie Regan. I mean, how awesome is that to be in that sort of category?
Well, it's great. You know, it's obviously Lee now have achieved his dream. I just hope he goes on and now will make as many defences and go on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. What was it like the first time you sort of picked up that belt there?
It's a dream. It's what you dream of, you know. It's quite an anticlimax because after the fight, you had to do a drugs test.
Yeah.
We only got to give a urine sample of 100 ml, and I started at 11 o'clock in the night, and I finished at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Trying to give 1 urine sample?
Yeah. Because it's so dehydrated, because you give so much in the fight.
So you're like, listen to my math genius now, people, that's 6 hours. Is that 6 hours? So 6 hours you were just standing.
Well, the guy who...
I shouldn't laugh at that, but so you were there with your old boy out and you're trying to have a pee for like 6 hours. You're like, come on.
No. The drug testing guy had to actually come to an hotel with me after because he had to stay with me.
Yeah.
And obviously the arena had shut, so I was drinking as much as I could and doing as much as I could. Back and forth toilet for 6 hours.
Because the thing is, mate, it's like sometimes it's like when you're in a pub and you're like, you can get a bit of stage fright, can't you? A lot of men get that. You're like, come on. But for 6 hours, that's pretty mad.
Yeah, it's just your body is so dehydrated, you know.
That's insane. I got massive respect for boxers and MMA fighters and anyone that gets in the ring. It is so difficult, and obviously like MMA, we might as well talk a bit about that because that's become pretty huge recently, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It's growing all the time, and I've got a lot of respect for them fighters. They train as hard as anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Who do you follow with the MMA stuff?
One of my friends actually, he's just emigrated to Australia and he's fighting over here, but now he fights over there. And he's just become state champion, Di Jenkins. And
fantastic.
We're all very proud of him, you know.
And obviously, I mean, you can't really sort of talk about MMA without sort of mentioning Conor McGregor.
He's just an unbelievable fighter.
He has helped raise the profile, because I wasn't really interested in MMA, and then it was like, you know, he's very vocal, of course, like, but he's definitely helped raise the fame of the sport.
Absolutely, you know, he talks the talk and walks the walk.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously he just did the other fight with Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
And what you just don't know which way that's gonna go, do you? With these.
I think it's going to be a big call out for the third match now.
That's going to be massive, isn't it? I mean, I think at the end of it as well, Nate was like, let's go again.
Yeah.
He's like, it'd be demoralising hitting Nate Diaz, because he's just, you could hit him with like 1,000 punches. He'd be like, let's go again, man, let's go again. And you'd be like, shit, man, I just given you 1,000 punches in the face, and he just keeps coming at you, isn't he?
It's like getting the war.
Phenomenal. And obviously you've been through a lot of that, where people are just pounding you and pounding you, and sort of, you know,
Absolutely.
it is absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
So, all right, so you think, we talk about people versus people, so you're saying Muhammad Ali would definitely beat Mike Tyson.
Absolutely.
Conor McGregor versus Brock Lesnar. But then you can't really compare them, can you?
No.
I mean, they're all talking, right? Let's say Conor versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, the difference in size.
Yes,
Brock Lesnar's like 290 pounds.
That's ridiculous, you know.
Damn, he wouldn't be able to get through that vault room door, mate.
Just because of the weight.
And what do you think about all of this Mayweather McGregor business?
I think boxing and the UFC is obviously two different sports, and they should never mix.
No, not really. It's just all a money thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if McGregor steps into the boxing ring, he's going to get destroyed. If Mayweather steps into the octagon, McGregor's going to take him down, and just it'll be good night.
Absolutely.
So you can't really compare those two, can you?
No.
So is there any other sort of passions you got?
Music and boxing and. No, that's about my main passions, and I do like the Welsh Rugby Six Nations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously being Welsh and it's our national sport, so very proud of our boys.
We've done pretty well, haven't we? And obviously we've done quite well with the football recently.
Yeah, the boys done brilliant, you know.
Yeah. Going back to your sort of tips on success with the boxing, so if I had to say, give me 3 sort of tips on success, for like the young aspiring fighters, what would you say they would be?
Absolutely, stay dedicated, stay focused, and just live the life.
Yeah. Fantastic. And you've got other things coming up soon.
Yeah, it's actually 20 years since I won the world title, and we've got a big anniversary night in Cardiff on the 1st of October, which is on my Facebook page. And any of my fans and friends want to celebrate with us, there's going to be a lot of past, present, world, British and European champions there. Yeah. And celebrities. It's going to be a fantastic night for everyone who wants to be there.
And that's so basically people can find out about that. There's because have you got a website or it's a Facebook page?
It's on my Facebook.
So you go to just go to Facebook, go to Robbie Regan. Yeah. Are you on Twitter yet? Are you tweeted up yet?
Yeah, but I don't use Twitter a lot, to be honest.
So the Facebook page would be the main place to get you, and then the people can get tickets and stuff like that from there. Is there any other things you've got coming up? Because you recently went to...
we had to do in Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo, mate!
That was a fantastic night.
I bet it was. I hope you weren't gambling or anything like that. I hope you didn't have any alcohol, sir.
No.
Because that's just don't fit with this whole belt thing, does it, mate?
My agent, Llewhellin, is making these great things happen for me, and this is the reason I'm here today, and it is fantastic to be here.
He's a good man, and, well, do you know what?
I'd also like to thank my fans, you know, who give me tremendous support, made my fight nights electric. You know, memories I'll cherish forever, and a piece of my world title belongs to each and every one of them. Fantastic. Robbie Regan, former WBO Bantam World Champion. It has been an honour and a pleasure, mate. Thank you, my friend. Thanks very much, mate. Cheers, mate. Take care. Thanks very much, guys, for watching. There'll be loads of other amazing interviews coming up soon. So have an awesome night, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.